Now at 6, emotions were running high this morning as former Memphis police officer Desmond Mills Jr. breaking rank and pleading guilty to federal criminal charges for his role in the Tyre Nichols case. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Richard Ransom.
And I'm Pepper Baker. But that's not all. Mills also agreed to plead guilty to state charges. Prosecutors agreeing to sentence of 15 years if a judge agrees. Now here's Mills walking into court today. He was one of 5 officers charged with Nichols' death last January, but the first one to plead guilty to 2 federal criminal charges.
Those charges dealt with his use of excessive force and making false statements to his supervisor. The other 2 counts are expected to be dismissed. As far as state charges, they include second-degree murder and aggravated assault.
In exchange for Mills' guilty plea, he must fully cooperate with ongoing civil and criminal investigations, including by the U.S. Justice Department. ABC 24's Jay Shakur heard that guilty plea alongside Tyre Nichols' family today. Jay, I can only imagine the mood from this morning.
Richard and Pepper, you could hear Tyre Nichols' mother sobbing quietly in that courtroom as Desmond Mills admitted to hitting Tyre Nichols multiple times with a baton, not rendering aid, and then lying to supervisors after the fact. For Rovon Wells and for his stepfather, Rodney Wells, Thursday's plea deal of ex-Memphis police officer Desmond Mills is the first step in a long journey for justice. This after Mills accepted a plea in federal court that could land him in federal prison for a recommended sentence of 15 years. While Nichols' family says they're grateful to see this development, they won't be satisfied until all 5 of the former officers are convicted or at least plead guilty to serious prison time.
To hear how this man beat our son with a baton several times, a man that weighs twice what my son weighs.
I'm hoping his conscience is telling him the right thing to do instead of his attorneys.
Now, if Desmond Mills fully cooperates with authorities, he will be sentenced on May 22nd of next year. That's a few weeks after the other 4 ex-officers' federal trial is scheduled to start. That date is May 6th. In downtown Memphis, I'm Jay Shakur.
Well, tonight, Desmond Mills' plea deal is also raising questions about how it could impact the other 4 ex-cops charged in Tyre Nichols in that case. Stephen Reels continues our team coverage now. And Stephen, you spoke with a longtime Memphis attorney. What was their take?
Well, Richard, Claiborne Ferguson says today's plea could be monumental and potentially create a ripple effect for other plea deals for other officers as well. This as Mills would now be testifying against those ex-officers if it does go to state or federal trial. Former MPD officers Justin Smith, Emmett Martin, Demetrius Haley, and Tadarius Bean previously pleaded not guilty to both the state and federal charges ahead of the planned trials in both cases. But even if any of the other officers do accept plea deal, Ferguson says they likely won't be let off as lightly as Mills. That's because the attorney says the first defendant who pleads usually gets the shortest sentence. Moving forward, Ferguson says Mills will likely become a key, if not the star witness for the federal government to use against the other former officers at trial. With his testimony, a powerful tool for prosecutors.
It's very difficult to win a federal case when you have one of the co-defendants testifying against you. This is an officer that was there, saw it, and knows the internal workings of the Scorpion unit. In the past, juries were more likely to overlook policeman misconduct, and it's clear they're not going to overlook it moving forward.
And Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy says if Desmond Mills doesn't cooperate and testify truthfully, then the plea deal he agreed to this morning is off. As it stands now, the other 4 MPD officers will appear in state court on Monday, and it is expected the judge will set a trial date for the state charges. Richard Pepper.